All right, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Good start to your Monday. Let's start standing, actually. So we're just gonna go into some arm circles, shoulder rolls first, actually. So just start kind of smaller. Let's go backwards first. Just kind of get those shoulders loosen up, get them moving. It might be like there's a little bit of grinding going on. That's okay. Let's just work out kind of those kinks, maybe some of those knots. Let's reverse. Let's go forward now. So we pull those shoulders up by the ears, soften them down. And now let's do arm circles. We'll start going backwards first. So big reach up and over. If that's a little bit too aggressive, you need to start a little bit smaller. That's fine too. Now let's switch it. Let's go the other way. So forward. And that big reach up and over. Yeah, one more time. Good. Now let's interlace those fingers just behind the back. So start with those arms really close to your hips or to your butt. Then just pull those shoulders back. Okay, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Okay, maybe you're feeling that big stretch there and you want to stop there. Maybe you can bring those hands a little further away. Keep that core tight. Breathing. Let's release those arms up overhead. Again, reach up tall. Let's bend into that left elbow, pressing your head back into that forearm. Core is tight. And then we'll bend it over to that right side. Good, and let's bring it back up. Let's switch sides. So bending into that right elbow. I press the head back. Keep that core tight. So a lot of times we press that head back. If this is super tight, so the way instead of this stretching, we take that path of least resistance, which is just arching through the back. So keep that tight. Press the head back so you'll get even more stretch through this tricep. And then from there, we're just going to find that bend over to your left side. And let's bring it back up. We're going to tee out those arms. So I'll mirror you guys. You're going to bring your left arm underneath the right. Okay. You're really grabbing onto those shoulders, even walking those hands back so you, it's hard to tell, but the ends of your shoulder blades, that kind of that knife edge, grab onto that. See if you can get your arms that far. So your elbows are coming past each other. Okay, now from there, maybe you bring the backs of the hands together, okay, or maybe you flip and bring those palms together. So kind of that double cross there. Now, again, core stays tight. We're gonna pull those shoulders kind of down and back, lifting those elbows up, and then bring those hands away from the face just as far as you can. It won't be a very big movement. Okay? We just wanna feel that stretch in between those shoulder blades. Maybe even up into those traps. So those are gonna be these muscles kind of right up here. The muscles that connect basically, well, they're huge, but from the shoulders kind of up to the neck, and then they run all the way down, basically the length of your spine. Good, then go ahead and release it. We'll go to the other side. So bringing that right arm underneath the left, grab onto those shoulders, grab onto the shoulder blades if you can. Maybe you stay here. If you're feeling that big stretch, kind of right in between here, in this position, stay there. Okay, otherwise bring the backs of the hands together, bring those palms together, lifting those elbows up, and then we can bring those hands away from the face. And stay tall, stay tight through that core. Let's release those arms up overhead. Again, just a gentle side bend over to that right side. So we can just let that left or that right hand slide down your leg. Inhale, bring it back up. Let's go to the other side. That left hand slides down, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, reach it back up. Let's go into that tricep stretch again. So bending into that left elbow, press the head back, and then we'll find that side bend over to that right side. Good, inhale, we'll bring it back up. Let's switch sides, bending into that right arm, pressing that head back, and then we'll bend it over to that left side. Let's inhale those arms back up, interlacing those fingers behind the back, open up through the chest. So really, we're trying to work, stretch out those shoulders, the front of the shoulders, the backs of the shoulders, the upper back. And then we'll go through what's called the eagle portion of the eagle pose in yoga. So again, bring that left arm underneath that right, bring the back to the hands. We're gonna maybe the palms together, lift up, and then hands come away from the face. Let's release those hands, go to the other side. And lifting those elbows, and then bring those hands away. So again, obviously if you're just grabbing into those shoulders, just kind of stay there. You don't have to worry about lifting the elbows or anything like that. Let's go one more breath. And then we'll release those arms up overhead, side stretch over to that right side. Bring it back up, over to the left side. Bring it back up, and then exhale, flat back. We're gonna fold, reach down, touch those toes. We'll stretch out the backs of those legs. Let that head hang heavy. And if those hamstrings are feeling a little tight, and bring your hands all the way to the ground, it's just not accessible today, just go ahead and bring those hands up a little bit higher. Maybe it can be all the way up here to those thighs, maybe your shins, maybe ankles, just finding that spot that works for you. Let's find a half lift. So again, bring those hands to the shins, flattening out that back. Good, now with the back flat, slide those hands down an inch. And then maybe another inch. So maybe those hamstrings are screaming at you, and this is as far as they are gonna allow. That is okay. And maybe you go a little bit further, but if you notice that the back is starting to round, just go ahead and stop and stay in that furthest position that you can get with that back staying flat. Now go ahead and bend into those knees, come right back up. We're going to take a big step back with that left foot. So we're going to be in that lunge, keeping that core tight, rib cage pulled down. We're going to bend into that front knee, lower, 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 that knee all the way down towards the mat. Okay, keep those back toes curled under. Don't get too comfortable here. If you need to grab onto a wall or a chair for balance, you can. Okay, I'm just going to keep my hands on my hips, and I'm going to press, and I'm going to come back up. So let's do 10 of them. Let's get moving a little bit here. So go down. That's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold it down. Reach those arms up, pressing those hips forward. Big stretch through that left hip flexor. If we've been sitting all day, these get a little bit tight. Yeah, let's go one more breath. Big reach up tall. Good. Now go ahead and press it back up to standing. Let's go the other side. Big step back with that right foot. Back heel is lifted. Here we go. Core is tight. We got 10 of them. So lower down. Get that knee as close to the ground or even touching the ground, and then come right back up. If you need to go even smaller motions, almost like just a pulse, that's fine too. Okay, let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. We lower down, reach those arms up, core tight, press those hips forward. Good, couple more breaths. Try not to have too big of an arch through that low back, just reaching up nice and tall. Good. Now, press up out of that lunge, stepping those feet forward. Again, reach it up tall, and then with that flat back, fold. So stretch out through those hamstrings. And then bend into those knees. Rise back up. Then we're going to take that big step back, again, with that left leg. And let's reach those arms up this time. Core is tight. We're going to add a little twist to this. So the left arm's going to reach forward. Right arm reaches back. Sink a little bit deeper into that front knee. So maybe you get this front knee or this front, the top of your thigh, parallel with the ground. Okay, that's pretty low. So if it's not happening, don't worry about it. But that's kind of what we're working towards. Now in this position, see if you can flex that back quad, straightens that leg out a little bit more, and it gets a really big stretch. I'm definitely feeling it in that hip flexor. Now from here, flip that left palm, reach it up. Right hand's gonna reach for that hamstring. And then we'll slowly, slowly, slowly lower that back knee down towards the ground. I can keep reaching up and back. And then we'll lower that hand down, straighten that front leg, fold. So we're coming into more of a half split. So pulling the right toes back, straighten that leg as much as you can. And then let's rebend into that knee, come back out of that lunge, step it forward, reaching those arms up, and we'll go to the other side. So squaring those hips off, big core stays tight, sinking into that front knee. So again, trying to get this left thigh parallel towards the mat. Again, we're gonna flex our back quad without, I do it a little bit, but flex your back quad and try not to arch through that back quite so much. And now we'll add in that twist. So right hand's gonna reach forward, left arm reaches back, keep sinking into that front knee. Now we'll flip it, reaching that right arm up, left hand is gonna grab onto that back hip flexor. That big, big reach up and over. And then from here, slowly, 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 lower that knee down towards the mat. Keep holding that twist, that kind of extending twist. And one more breath. And then we'll lower those hands down. Straighten that front leg as we fold. Pulling those left toes back. Good, now let's rebend into that knee. Let's come back out of that lunge, stepping those feet forward. Let's reach the arms up, bend it over to that right side. Bring it back up. Let's go over to that left side. Bring it back up. Now let's interlace those fingers behind the back. Opening up through that chest. And now go ahead, release those hands. Let's go ahead and take a big step back again with that left leg. Okay, hands can just be on the hips. Again, just lower down. Let's see if we can go 10 seconds on that lower down. So bringing 10 seconds to lower that left knee down to the ground. So here we go. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, go ahead and reach the arms up, bringing those hands to heart center. Okay, we're gonna twist. Hook that left tricep across that right side. Press, lifting the chest as we twist. Good, now we'll bring it back to center. Straighten that front leg and fold. And now rebend into that knee, just another variation of twist. So we're pressing those hips forward. The left hand is down, right arm is gonna reach up. If you're feeling ambitious and you wanna bend that back knee, reach for that foot for a little more quad hip flexor stretch you can. If this is not happening, maybe we just bend that knee. If you just literally lift that foot up, you'll get a little bit more stretch through that quad, but don't try and force it here or you're gonna cramp in your hamstring. And we don't want that. Whatever position you're in, let's hold it for another breath. And release that foot. And we'll just come back to a down dog to switch sides. So just take a moment. Let's pedal those feet out. So really pressing those heels down towards the ground, pressing that tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then come onto the toes. Let's step those feet up to the top of the mat and find that flat back. Let's rise up to standing. Okay, we're gonna take a big step back with that right foot this time. We can't forget that 10-second lower. All right, here we go. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, reaching those arms up. Now let's bring those hands to heart center, twisting that right tricep, comes across that left thigh. Press into the palms, nice flat back. So we don't want to be collapsing over that thigh. We want our chest lifted. We're using that core, and then we're twisting, looking over that left elbow. And then we'll unwind it. Ooh, straighten that front leg as we fold, pulling those toes back. Then now let's rebend into that knee. So this time we're gonna plant that right hand down as we twist. Left arm is reaching up. Reach that hand back. Maybe you start to bend into that knee, okay? Or maybe you grab onto that foot. And just a couple breaths here. Now, if you just wanna stay here in that twist, that's fine too. And now go ahead, let's release that foot. And then again, we'll step it back to our downward facing dog, that inverted V. So again, take time, pedal those feet out, that stretch through those calves. And now let's make our way onto our backs. Stretch out those hips. So roll it on down. Let's take our right leg, our right ankle. So not the ankle bone. It's going to be that smooth part just right above the ankle bone, then right before the calf is what we want to rest on that side. It's going to be the most comfortable position. Now flex that right foot. So you lower the head down, lower that tailbone down, grab onto that hamstring or the knee. Pull it in a little bit closer. Now let's lower that foot down. Okay, so the right ankle is staying over. I'm going to take my left hand, grab onto kind of where the foot and the ankle meet. Okay, now we're going to drop the foot and the knee over to that left side. So we're lowering the bottom of our right foot down towards the ground. Okay, I feel like you guys have a pretty good angle here. So now I'm going to leverage my arm is kind of pulling my ankle back, and I'm going to press my knee away. So I'm not, you can use your hand, but I'm just kind of using my glute to press away. And then bring that right shoulder back down towards the mat. So if your obliques, your sides are a little bit tight like mine are today, you're going to get a stretch there. You'll get a stretch in that outer hip, maybe a little bit through that inner thigh. Let's bring it back up. Let's switch sides. So we're going to drop the knees over to that right side, left arm is extending out. That left shoulder stays down. Good, now let's bring it back up, switching sides. So we're gonna cross that left ankle over and flexing that foot, not the ankle bone on the thigh, but the lower part of the shin, the side of the shin is gonna be on that thigh. So we can grab on to that hamstring, or maybe we grab on to the shin if you have a little bit more mobility in those hips. So we wanna keep that tailbone down, chest is lifting, head is relaxed down. Good, now lower that foot down. Right hand reaches for that left ankle. Okay, and then we'll drop that left foot down towards that right side of the mat. So good, we're pulling the ankle towards us as that knee is pressing away. And then bring that left shoulder back down towards the ground. And then bring that knee back up. Again, we'll re-tee out those arms and get your body centered first, and then drop the knees over to that left side. So keep a slight engagement through that core, so just to protect that low back. And then bring it back up. Going to uncross that leg. Hug those knees in and let's sit on up. Crossing those legs. Let's lower those hands or rest those hands on the knees. Close those eyes. Let's take just like 3 breaths. Closing down the eyes, closing down the mouth. So just breathing in and out through the nose. So take a big breath in, fill those lungs up as much as we can. And exhale it out. And really slowing down that exhale again. Big breath in. Hold it at the top. And exhale it out. Last one, big breath in. And exhale. All right, blinking those eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. We have intermediate power yoga this afternoon at 4:45. So if you guys are interested, join me. I will try to offer modifications. So if you want to take a step up from the Wednesday yoga class, feel free to try it out, see how it goes. But yeah, otherwise have a good day, have a good night, and then we'll see you all later.